Hi everybody. Right, first of all, I promised that I wouldn't do any of these, and here I am. Secondly, I've tried to record this 900 times. That's an exaggeration, but I'm getting cross with myself now. So I just want to talk about seed sustainability, seed sovereignty, and where seed comes from. So seed comes like that from a garden centre or a supermarket, doesn't it? But where does it come from before there? So most seed, patented seed, is grown globally, is managed by three big organisations. Google will tell you who they are, but you won't be at all surprised. Then there's a drip feed down, and when they get down to sort of the horticultural gardeners level, that's kind of the bottom. It's not the bottom level, that's not but that's the smallest size packet of calendula that you'll see, and obviously most of the seed that is produced is actually aimed at farming, obviously. So we, and we end up with them like that in beautiful packets, which give us all the information that we need about what we need to do with them, and tell us that, they're perfect for pollinators. They give you all the information that you need, basically. But you don't know who grew them. So the longer the supply chain, exactly the same with food and with fast fashion and with anything else, the longer the supply chain, the more likely there is somebody in there who is not being treated well. I'm not saying that this seed, and I'm not saying any of Thompson Morgan's seed or any of Mr. Fothergill's seed or whatever, but a lot of seed is grown in China. Not the best human rights records. So what I then wanted to talk about is, seed. Well, it's a commodity, we just buy it. Or seed, grown in this country by great people who grow, pick, package, send out. They do the whole thing. And they can tell you exactly where that seed was grown. They could probably tell you which row of the garden it was grown in. Now, in an ideal world where we were all living and this is a perfect world, we would have amazing people who, we would all grow our own food. We would all grow our own flowers. We would all have 2-acre cottage gardens that grew everything we possibly needed, and we would all save our own seed, and we would wear long skirts and have beautiful trugs made of sustainable wood and long flowing frocks and beautiful gloves. Anyway, obviously that's not real life, and obviously we all have to balance what we do with what we do. So most of us, I realise I'm really lucky. I do this all the time. In fact, it occurred to me the other day as I was on the allotment, my God, this is my job. That I will never complain about that. But I'm very, very lucky, and we can't all do it all, is what I'm saying. But what we can do is we can change the way we look at things. So if we don't look at seeds as a commodity, but we look at them as a resource, and isn't it funny how we think of that being a commodity? That's easy to think of just something that you buy, whereas in the brown packet it looks more like a resource. If we start to treat all of our seeds like a resource with some respect that goes back to whoever it is that grew it, maybe we would change the way we use seed. I think that's what I was trying to get at. So what I'm trying to say, I think, is it's very, very easy to get to this time of year and, oh my God, we've all done it. We've all done it. I've done it. You've done it. We've all done it. It's very, very, very easy to get to this time of year, feel that we are desperate to do something. We're desperate to get some seeds into some soil. We're desperate to do something, anything. And because we don't garden seasonally anymore, so we're not thinking about, this time of year, normally you'd be planting bare roots, shrubs, trees, herbaceous, all of that stuff. We don't do that anymore. So because we don't do that anymore, we go, oh God, what can we do in our gardens? What are we going to do in our gardens? And we end up with windowsills and greenhouses and whatever, full of seedlings that just are never going to do okay. They're always going to be leggy. They're always going to be a little bit weedly. They're always going to look a bit sorry for themselves. And however long you try and keep those plants going for, they are never going to be your optimal plant. Now, when you sow a seed, most seedlings need what perfectly, in a perfect world, will look short and stocky. And you'll be able to, by the time they have their second lot of true leaves, you'll be able to pinch them out. Seedlings grown at this time of year inevitably will end up leggy. There'll be a massive etiolation between each set of seeds. They won't look right. If you pinch them out, they'll just look weird. And yet, on the back of these zinnias, it says quite clearly, don't plant me till, well, it says, sow, outdoor sowing, choose a sunny position and sow thinly, direct into finely raked soil. Indoor sowing in pots or trays in a windowsill propagator or greenhouse at 15 to 20 degrees centigrade. Whose house is constantly 15 to 20 degrees centigrade? Who can afford to heat a greenhouse? The answer is professional growers and the odd person who might have a heated mat. But I just have to say, I get the heated mat thing, I get the lights thing, but I'm really uncomfortable with plugging things in to grow things when actually, just wait a minute. Appreciate the fact that your windowsills are clear for an extra 3 weeks a year and sow it when they tell you to sow it. I hope that doesn't sound too bossy. It might do, but it's just, The other thing that I would say, so I have people who get in touch with me and they say on here, on Twitter, on Facebook, in real life, everywhere, oh, what can I sow now? What can I sow now? And I go, okay, what do you want to sow and what books have you looked at? And they go, well, I've seen so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so on whatever platform sowing these and these. And then I've seen so-and-so and so-and-so saying, oh, they're a bit worried about their tomato plants that they sowed in January. And I'm like, well, why would you sow a tomato plant in January? So I would say that unless you know somebody is an expert, so if it's Charles Dowding, if it's Adam Frost, if it's a farmer, maybe. There are a few experts out there, but if it's just somebody who you follow and have the occasional chat with. So here's the thing: buy a book. I know that's really old-fashioned, but I'm screaming Charles Dowding at you here. It obviously doesn't have to be Charles. There are 1,000,001 people out there. I think I don't know this lady very well, but Swan Cottage Flowers I know does some amazing stuff. Take your lead from a book by an expert. That sounds really rude, and I don't mean it to be rude, but what I would really like to see, and who am I to say this, but what I would really like to see is it stopping being a competition and actually everybody just sharing what they're doing and going, actually, we're desperate, but we're not going to do it. We're just going to sit and look at seed catalogues. We're going to mulch our gardens. We're going to plant bare root stuff. And there are some great people out there who still have bare roots available. But yeah, I think my message is slow down. They're a resource, not a commodity.